And sometimes it seems like that I'm not fulfilling my promises. But I'll stop out and tell you that God say that He still is going to provide. Amen. We'll find here in chapter number 2, we're talking about a very, very familiar man here. His name is Abraham. And we're talking about his favorite and only son, Isaac. And here the Lord has came to Abraham and said that I have given you this son, one that you have prayed for, one that you have waited on for a long time. And you asked me for it, I provided him to you. See, sometimes, my grandmother and my great grandmother, they always told me, they say, Sputnik, he may not come when you want him to, but he's always on time. See, Abraham had done prayed and done prayed and done prayed, and he was wondering when would the Lord gonna provide what He promised him. Finally, God provided a son to Abraham, and now God told Abraham, I need for you to go and sacrifice your son to me. I don't know about y'all, but my wheels begin to turn in my mind. It said, look, well, first of all, God, you promised me a son. And it took a while for you to give me that son. But now that now you want me to go and you want me to give him away. You want me to kill him. I don't know about y'all, but in my mind, knowing that who I am, I had to have a problem with sacrificing my only son. Today's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers, but I have a problem sacrificing. Not only I had a problem sacrificing any of my children. When we read the story, Abraham said, okay, God, I do exactly what you asked me to do. The Bible said, then he said, take now your son, your only son Isaac, whom you love, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering and offering on one of the mountains which I shall tell you. First of all, God is sending me on a journey. How many of you are like me? You can't just tell me to go somewhere and not fill me in on where I'm going. You can't just tell me to go and when you get there, I'll let you know that you done made. And it don't register in my brain that way. Give me the address in which you want me to go. But see, that's the reason why God did exactly what He just did. So you got to realize something. The first thing we're going to do when God tells us to go somewhere, we're not going to hesitate to get on that phone and get on that Facebook and get on that Instagram and get on that TikTok and let everybody know exactly where you are, where you're going. All right. See, God had a purpose for telling Abraham to go and take his son to be sacrificed there. See, us as who we are, we want to let everybody know where we're going. We ain't going to tell them the truth all the time. See what the problem is, that we going to make it seem like everything is all right in our household. See, I know, I don't know about everybody, but I know how I feel. First of all, God telling me to go, and then He didn't tell me where to go. Right. And then He's telling me to give up something that He has already done given to me. I have a big problem with that. I'm not finna go on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and let them know that, The Lord tells me to sacrifice my son, and I'm finna go over here to this mountain, and I'm finna kill my child. No, I'm gonna get on there and I'm gonna let them know, hey, everything is all right. I woke up on this morning and I got breakfast in bed. I got me a large cup of orange juice. Everything in my house is going great. Just sit there, just lying. Just lying. God didn't want to set Abraham up for a lie. So he told him, just go. So you got to realize sometimes God is going to tell you plain and simple, just get up and go. Well, Lord, no, don't worry about where you're going. Go. I will lead you and I will direct you to where you need to be. First of all, Abraham, we got his son together and he took off on his journey. Then he said on the third day, Abraham lifted his eyes and saw the place afar off. And Abraham said to the young men, stay here with the donkeys. The lad and I will go yonder and worship, and we'll come back to you. He finally reached the mountain Moriah, where the Lord wanted him to make the sacrifice. And you know that, I'll be there in a minute, pal. And he had to make his sacrifice there. You got to realize one thing is that there are a few people he brought with to help him along his journey. All right. But the Lord had to tell him plain and simple, no, y'all stay here. Me and the lad is going to go a little bit further into the woods, into the mountains. Verse 6 says, so Abraham took the wood of the burnt offering and the lad, his son. He took fire, he took the knife, and he went. I don't know about you. And the most he went to worship. He took a fire. He took some wood. He took a knife. Yeah. And he took his son. And he went to worship. Y'all act like y'all don't understand what first of all, he took a fire. Man, I think I'm gonna mix it up again. He took a wood. He took a knife. He took his lad. And he went to worship. They said third time he took a knife. He took a wood. He took some fire. He took his son. And he went in and worshiped. See, I don't know about you, but every time I leave my house and I come to the house of God, I take a knife. I take some fire. I take a wood. I take his son, and I come to worship. All right. See, y'all didn't caught on to what I'm saying. See, I don't know about you, but I've been stabbed in my back. But guess what? I still come through there and I worship him. People that nailed me to that wood. But guess what? I still come out and I come to what? Worship him. I don't know about you, but people that set me on fire. But I still come out here to do what? To worship him. See, I don't know why you come here. See, but I come out here to give God all the praise. Why? Because I know what the world is out there doing to me. See, I done been beat down. I done been broken. I done been almost destroyed. But Lord, when I came through them doors, I came to worship him. And so Isaac, he's a smart young man. I'm gonna go to Clover. Isaac, he's a smart young man. He said, Daddy, the picture just didn't seem right, Pastor. Hey, I don't know about you, but it just didn't seem right. He said, Dad, I see you brought a knife with you. Dad, I seen you brought the wood with you. God, and I see you brought the fire with you. But I didn't see where you brought the sacrifice in. See, you already know that we're coming up here to do a sacrifice. But God, but that I don't see it. See, you know, sometimes your children, they're very curious when they're at home. They always watching you in everything that you do. They may not say nothing right then and there, but they're watching you. My son asked me, he said, Daddy, why you ain't at work? I said, well, how you know I ain't? He said, because I see you every morning getting up and what? Going to work. Let me know he's watching me. He said, Daddy, I'm live, ain't I ain't gonna even say that. I ain't gonna even say that. But he's watching me. Whether you know it or not, he watch how I treat his mama. He watch how I treat his sister. He watch how I treat him. He watches exactly what I do. And believe it or not, that rock is gonna come to me and he gonna ask me, Daddy, why you didn't do that? He asked me the other day, he said, Dad, I ain't seen you hug mama in a long time. Why you ain't hug mama? You mad at mama? That hurt me. Simply because I need to live a life before him that he can learn how to do things the right way. See, but whether you know it or not, if you don't show him the right way, somebody out there that's going to show him the right way. See, I'm glad he's focusing on the things that I'm doing. That's going to keep me in line to make sure I do things the right way. But this man, he said, Dad, where's everything at? His father told him plain and simple, don't worry about it. Come on, let's just go. So they went on up into the mountains. When he got into the mountains, Abraham begins to prepare to sacrifice his son. He began to, I don't know about y'all, but if it was me, I'd begin to reminisce over the things that me and my son had already done in life. See, it takes a real man to sacrifice his only son. It takes a real man to sacrifice him. And this man is doing exactly what God told him to do. And so he's up there reminiscing and preparing the altar for his son. The Bible said that he bound his son and he placed his son on the altar. And then once he placed his son on the altar, he drew back his hand. Right. And no doubt in his mind, he's going to do exactly what the Lord told him to do. The Bible said that once he come forward, the angels immediately told him to stay your hand. Don't do it. See, but what got me is that and I don't know about y'all, but this what really got me and let me really know that God will provide. The Bible said that when he turned around, he saw that was a ram. Pastor, he wasn't just in any bush. He was in a thicket bush. But I don't know about you, but how many of you know that thicket don't grow on top of the mountains? Thickets only grow in the where? The valley. How many of you know that rams don't walk on top of the mountains? Rams walk along the side of the mountain. But yet and still, the Lord had already provided. Well, what he did, tell you, well, first thing, the Lord turned it upside down. See, y'all don't understand this. Every time in my life, the Lord always turned it upside down. All right. See, y'all still didn't catch it now. Maybe you realize the Lord takes things in your life and he turns them upside down. Well, what you talking about, Taylor? But I find myself sinking deep in sin. I find myself far from the peaceful shore. But when Jesus comes into my life and he turns it around, no longer am I in the valley. I'm standing on the mountaintop. No longer do I have to worry. Why? Because God already provided. So you don't have to worry. God will provide. I don't care what situation that you're going through. The Lord will provide. If you follow the process, there's no doubt in my mind, the Lord will provide. The problem is we don't understand the process. And we don't learn, we don't go through the process. See, you got to realize one thing. Abraham had to leave where he was, take his son to a place that he knew anything about, and kill his son. But yet he know that the Lord was already there waiting on him when he got there. See, I understand that there's going to be bills in your life, there's going to be heartaches in your life, there's going to be pain in your life, there's going to be discomfort in your life, there's going to be depression in your life. But guess what? God's still right there. And every time you open your eyes, you got to know that God did what? He provided. Well, you know good and well you ain't got nothing to pay the bills with, but guess what? God provided. You know the car that you driving in right now, you didn't get it on your own. The Lord provided for you. The house you live in right now, you know that your credit wasn't good enough. But God still what? Provided. And the good thing about it, He's always going to provide. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to go to my seat. The reason I'm where I am right now in life is because God provided. Well, preacher, what you mean by that? Well, He sent His Son through 42 generations. He left His heavenly throne to come down here on this earth to make that ultimate sacrifice for you and for me. They hung Him on a cross. They put a crown of thorns on His head. They put spikes in His hand. They put ribbon in His face. They pierced Him in His side. He told them this plain and simple. He said, if you lift me up, I'll draw all men unto me. They lifted Him up. He hung His head and locks of His shoulders. And then He died. They took Him off that old rugged cross and they placed Him in a borrowed tomb. And there in that tomb on that Friday night, He stayed there. They say He stayed there all Saturday morning and all Saturday night. The Bible said early Sunday morning, the Bible said He got up with all power in His hand. I don't know about you, but that was the ultimate sacrifice. Because if He had not died and had not raised on the third day morning, God would not be providing for me. I thank God for His sacrifice. I thank God for Jesus. See, I don't know about y'all, but every time I call that name Jesus, it sends chills through my body. Why? Because I know what Jesus is to me. He's everything to me. Whenever I'm sick, I can call His name Jesus. Whenever I'm down, I can call His name Jesus. Jesus in the morning. Jesus in the noonday. Jesus at night. I love to call on that name. Jesus. God, I thank You. And God, I praise you. I'm through. The Lord will provide. The doors of the church are open. There may be one this morning that come to us by letter about